You're sitting there, in the silence of your home, and suddenly it hits you like a punch to the stomach. It's over. Really over. And as you try to piece together what happened, a realization cuts through you like a blade. You gave everything. Everything. And they only took. You look around and see traces of what you were willing to do for them. The sacrifices you made without being asked. The sleepless nights spent worrying about their problems. Your dreams set aside to support theirs. Your energy, your emotions, your money, your time, all poured into a bottomless well called our love. And now that they have everything they wanted from you, they're gone. And the most bitter truth of all, while you were thinking for two, they were only thinking for themselves. While you were planning how to make them happy, they were planning how to get more from you. While you were asking, what can I do for us? They were asking, what more can I take? You were in a relationship. They were in an extraction operation. You feel stupid. There, you thought it. You feel incredibly, painfully stupid. How did you fail to see the signs? How did you mistake their selfishness for love? How did you believe that their taking was the same as your giving? But Carl Jung would say you're not stupid. You're simply someone who hasn't yet learned one of life's most important lessons. That always saying yes to others means always saying no to yourself. That person who exploited you didn't arrive in your life by chance. They came because your soul needed to learn something fundamental about yourself. You begin to take inventory of the pain. The money lent and never returned. The dinners always paid by you. The expensive gifts while they forgot your birthday. The nights spent consoling them for problems they created while your anxieties were set aside. Your successes diminished. Your dreams postponed because theirs were more urgent. And while you did all this thinking about us, they coldly calculated how much more they could extract from you. And what did they give? Crumbs. Crumbs of attention when they needed it. Affection conditional on your behavior. Empty promises that kept you hooked. And that constant feeling that you had to earn their love every single day. Then comes the anger. You're angry at them for using you, for taking your generosity and turning it into weakness, for making calculations while you made dreams, for planning their strategy while you planned your future together. But you're even angrier at yourself for allowing it to happen, for all the times your instinct screamed that something was wrong and you chose not to listen, for all the times you saw red flags and decided they were pink. How was I so blind? That's the question haunting you. How did you fail to notice that while you were thinking about how to make them happy, they were thinking about how to make you more available? There's a type of betrayal worse than what someone else does to you. It's what you do to yourself. You betrayed your values to keep them. You betrayed your needs to satisfy theirs. You betrayed your dignity to buy their affection. And now you're here, alone, picking up the pieces not just of the relationship, but of yourself. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the person you see. Where did your pride go? Your strength? When did you start begging for crumbs of affection from someone who was supposed to be your equal? Jung would say this moment of shattering is sacred. It's the moment when your old identity, the one that always said yes, that settled for crumbs, that begged for love, must die so a stronger version of you can be born. This isn't punishment from a universe. It's a diploma. You've just graduated from the hardest school there is, the one that teaches you your worth through losing it. The nights are the worst. That's when the questions come like waves. Was it all fake? While I was dreaming of our future, were they already planning how to exploit me better? Will they come back? And this is the most painful question, because part of you still hopes they will return. But deep in your heart, you know the truth. If they came back, it would only be because they need something else from you. Because to them you were always an emotional ATM, not a personal love. The regrets are boulders on your shoulders. If only you had understood that while you were thinking about us, they were only thinking about me. If only you had set boundaries. If only you had demanded reciprocity instead of settling for crumbs. But Jung would say these if-onlys are seeds of wisdom. Every regret is a lesson you finally learned. There's a particular type of loneliness you feel after being emotionally exploited. It's not just the absence of the person. It's the absence of yourself. You gave so much that you don't know what remains. But Jung saw loneliness not as punishment, but as sacred space. It's in the empty space that you can finally hear your voice. The universe emptied you of everything so you could finally fill yourself with you. Perhaps the cruelest thing of all is that you truly love them. It wasn't strategic, it wasn't calculated. It was real, pure, generous love. You loved with an open heart while they calculated with a cold mind. You loved their potential while ignoring their reality. And now you're left with a broken heart and the bitter awareness that your most sincere love was their most effective manipulation tool. But this pain is your greatest spiritual teacher. It's teaching you the difference between loving someone and losing yourself in someone. It's teaching you that true love includes love for yourself. That giving only makes sense when there's someone who receives with gratitude and reciprocates with equal generosity. How do you reopen a heart that's been so betrayed? You're afraid of becoming cynical. But Jung would say this fear is sacred. It's protecting you while you learn to distinguish between who deserves your love and who doesn't. Your heart isn't closing, it's refining itself. Jung knew that learning to say no is one of the most important skills a human being can develop. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you betray yourself. Every time you give more than you receive without demanding reciprocity, you communicate that your value is negotiable. The universe sent you someone who would abuse your inability to say no, so you would finally learn that saying no to others means saying yes to yourself. But then, slowly, something begins to change. You start to remember who you were before them. That person who had their own dreams, their own life. That person who didn't need to beg for love because they knew they deserved it. You begin to see that the problem wasn't that you weren't enough. It was that they were too little, too focused on themselves to see the beauty of what you were offering. And slowly, very slowly, you begin to feel something you hadn't felt in a long time: compassion for yourself. This pain is teaching you that true love doesn't empty, it fills. It doesn't make you feel like you have to earn affection. It makes you feel like you naturally deserve it. It's teaching you that saying no to others is the first step to saying yes to yourself. And finally, when the sharpest pain begins to subside, you make yourself a promise. You promise that you'll never again let anyone treat you like an option while you treat them like a priority. You promise you'll never again let someone make calculations while you make dreams. You promise you'll love again, but this time you'll include yourself in that love. And above all, you promise you'll remember this lesson. You deserve a love that doesn't cost you your soul. You'll learn to say no as easily as you say yes. You'll learn that your boundaries are sacred, that your self-love is non-negotiable. The universe took away someone who didn't deserve you to make space for someone who will. It taught you that the most important love in your life is the love you have for yourself. Because when you learn to truly love yourself, to respect yourself, to protect yourself, to say no when necessary, you naturally attract people who love you the same way. The pain will pass, the wisdom will remain, and you, stronger and wiser, will love again. But this time, you'll also love yourself enough to never again settle for less than you deserve. Because you're not a well to be emptied, you're a fountain to be celebrated. And anyone who doesn't understand that, anyone who makes calculations while you make dreams, simply isn't worthy of drinking from your water. The universe just taught you this in the most painful way possible. But now you know, and this knowledge will set you free.